I recently received a request regarding the status of multifamily homes that piqued my interest and got my wheels spinning. Longtime viewers know that I report on the U.S. housing market as well as my local Tallahassee housing market, and specifically the single-family homes market. So this was something that I don't usually cover in great detail. But what I found is very telling. Viewer Jake commented on a recent video saying, "I just discovered your channel and I love your videos. It'd be great to hear what you think is happening and likely going to happen with multifamily homes in Tallahassee, specifically 2 to 4 unit properties. I purchased my first fourplex there in April and I wonder if multifamily appreciation is anything like single family. Thanks so much for the great content." Now, before you go thinking this video is only for people in Tallahassee, you should know that what I'm going to reveal will be relevant to most U.S. housing markets today. The numbers might be a little different, but the trends are not unique to Tallahassee. Tallahassee historically follows the U.S. housing market pretty closely, so I'm going to give you a snapshot of the multifamily market and discuss its role in the overall U.S. market too. It took me a few days to gather the data, but I think I have some decent answers for Jake. As with most of my videos, I've included a link below to all the multifamily properties for sale in the Tallahassee MLS. And you'll note that just like the single family market, most multifamily properties that are priced from the median and below are already under contract with buyers. Hi, I'm Joe Manausa, author of The Business of Getting Business and the creator of Manausa.com, where I've helped tens of thousands of people buy and sell homes. I would like to help you too. If you already are a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. If you're not a subscriber, please consider becoming one now. We offer the most thorough and accurate housing market reports on YouTube, plus answers to your real estate frequently asked questions, and we also provide virtual tours of some of the most beautiful homes in Tallahassee. Please remember to like this video, then hit subscribe and click the bell so that you're the most informed buyer or seller in your next real estate transaction. Before we dig into the report, it's important I explain the difference between multifamily homes and single-family homes. Each term is a property type, category that the county uses to distinguish one from the other. A single-family home is a building that houses just one family, whereas a multifamily home is a building that houses separate residences where more than one family can live. While that sounds simple and easy to understand, the reality in the record keeping is a whole other story. Leon County has 2 multifamily categories, multifamilies under 10 units and multifamily 10 units or more. But it also has single-family categories of condominiums and townhomes, which all get bundled up in the single-family realm and do not show up in the multifamily data records. What this means is that there are some truly multifamily properties that all markets report as single-family attached units. It's crazy, but that's how it's done. Today's report uses Leon County tax record data collected by Metro Market Trends and solely relies on multifamily property types under 10 units, meaning no single-family designated properties are counted and no properties with 10 or more units are in this multifamily report. So yes, that was a lot of mumbo jumbo, but I wanted to disclose that today's report has been produced with as much accuracy as I could provide without having to spend several thousand hours cleaning and combining data records. I would also like to add that you'll find this chaos in national reports on multifamily properties, as they most likely do not include residential condominiums and townhouses either. So now that we have the disclosure out of the way, let's dig into the multifamily data. The first thing that I wanted to explore was the rate of sales of multifamily properties when compared to the same for single-family properties. I went through nearly 4,000 multifamily property transfers and removed non-arm's length transactions as well as transactions with incomplete data, like the property size or value was missing. This left me with a data set that was fairly representative of what has been sold over the past 30 years in Tallahassee. All of the graphs in today's report provide 10-year averages for the purpose of eliminating the noise in the data while focusing on our viewers' questions. Simply stated, Jake wonders how multifamily properties have performed when compared to single-family properties, and that I can answer. This graph shows unit sales trends, with the average number of multifamily properties plotted in blue and the average number of single-family properties plotted in red. The total number of single-family properties is divided by 40 so that the scale of each is similar enough to make comparisons. Remember, the graph plots the 10-year average monthly number of properties sold, with single-family properties divided by 40. So that's why our trend lines are so smooth. We are seeing long-term trend changes. It appears to me that the number of properties sold in each category each year has followed a similar trajectory, with the spike of the market in 2005 and the bottom of the market in 2012 impacting the trend lines in an obvious and similar manner. Simply put, both single-family and multifamily properties have behaved in similar manners when it comes to counting how many have sold. This graph is similar to the previous one, but it plots the 10-year average price of each property category. As I look at this graph, what strikes me is that the average price of multifamily properties was hit harder by the housing bubble than were single-family homes. I know this to be the case in my recurring analysis of single-family homes. The single-family detached homes have moved higher at a faster rate than have single-family attached homes. Look at how closely the average price trends moved for the first 5 years of the graph, but as the housing bubble burst, they moved at a different trajectory. Today, they appear to be moving higher at a similar rate, but the difference in price between the two has grown. I do believe this is a fair representation of what has occurred, but I'll throw out a caveat that multifamily properties under 10 units are not the cleanest of all data sets. If I had the time, I would like to see the combination of multifamily under 10 units, single-family condominiums and townhomes, and all non-arm's length transactions removed, and all missing data recovered. But that is not to be. Finally, we conclude with the graph that specifically addresses Jake's question. It plots the 10-year average single-family home value against the 10-year average multifamily home value. The reason that I chose to plot 10-year averages in each of these graphs was so that you would see a clear picture of the change in the market. Had I plotted annual, non-trending figures, the results would have been skewed greatly by an unusually low or high starting or ending year from either property type. Instead, we're seeing 10-year averages flow across the graph, so the changes observed are meaningful and accurately reflect market behavior. The red line in the graph shows that the 10-year average value of single-family homes has risen 82% over the past 20 years, while the 10-year average value of multifamily homes has only risen 58%. Don't get too wrapped up in the specific percentages. Instead, have confidence that the trends truly reflect current market behavior. These trend lines demonstrate that multifamily properties are not appreciating as rapidly as our single-family properties, and one should consider this fact as part of a real estate investment analysis. Additionally, I think it's fair to point out that multifamily properties are more susceptible to negative market influences, as the housing market bubble 15 years ago showed. There are many other factors beyond appreciation one should consider when determining the best investment plan, so make sure you work with a seasoned real estate agent with investment experience if you decide to add real estate to your investment portfolio. If you would like to see more videos about current housing market conditions, I've assembled a great playlist that you can view by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. For a playlist of answers to questions from viewers just like you, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.